ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, थैंक यू।
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. That was really nice to start off with the Mangalacharan. We should always we should need to have the blessings of our Goswamis and our Guru Parampara before we start off. So that's really nice to start in that way. And also, like as I was mentioning about the beautiful times of this Kartik month, where many very auspicious things have happened. So one of the things is relating to the appearance of Radhakund. But before that, I just wanted to offer my pranams. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwara Rishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami. I'll just quickly do a Kirtan and then I want to just speak about this Radhakund as well. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girvardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thanks for joining. It is so beautiful when all of the devotees come together. That's when we can really relish Krishna Katha. And I'm just so happy to always be in the association of our devotees. and such a joyful thing. I am actually going to ask one person to join as well. One, just in a minute. So very beautiful. I just want to take a few minutes of our time just to talk about Radha Kund, because this is the month of Kartik and we should relish all the nectar, the beautiful pastimes of the Lord in Vrindavan. So it's very interesting for us to know that Sri Krishna Bhagwan 500 years ago came in the form of a devotee called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A lot of people try to understand, like, because in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, we always worship Krishna, Radha and Krishna together. We never worship only Krishna, but we always worship Radha and Krishna together. And it's a nice, beautiful way of presenting it, the understanding the relationship between Radha and Krishna. It is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Radha Krishna eka atma duhi dehadari anyone vilase rasha ashwadana kari. Radha Krishna eka atma duhi dehadari anyone vilase rasha ashwadana kari, which is so nicely mentioned that Radha and Krishna Eki Atma, but they appear in two spiritual bodies in a loving relationship with each other. It's such a nice way that we can understand the relationship between Radha and Krishna. So Radharani is none other than the Haladini Shakti of Krishna. So when Krishna comes into this material world, out of his the Haladini Shakti, the pleasure-giving potency within Krishna himself is manifested in the form of Radharani. So Radharani is the Bhava of Krishna, Mahabhava inside Krishna, who is manifested in the form of Radharani. And Radharani is the most dearest devotee of Krishna. And we have so many beautiful pastimes. There's so many different rasas of Krishna, Vatsalya rasa, Madhurya rasa. And the beauty about this month of Kartik is the name of Radharani. And during this month, even the Damodari Leela happened. So they are different. Krishna exhibits different rasas, Madhurya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Santa rasa, Dasya rasa, like that. 5 different rasas. But in this, the beauty about this Kartik month is in this month, Krishna exhibited Vatsalya rasa in the form of Damodari Leela. Krishna exhibited this Madhurya rasa in the form of Radha Kund. And we know the beautiful story of, you can see over here, this beautiful Radha Kund. It is mentioned. The very beautiful thing about this is that Sri Krishna Bhagwan and Radharani, there were so many beautiful pastimes which happened during Krishna's stay in Vrindavan, when he was enjoying with the Radharani and the gopis and everyone in Vrindavan. And it is so interesting that same Sri Krishna Bhagwan himself came in the avatar of a devotee called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago. And he went on a pilgrimage to Vrindavan, and he got all the Goswamis to go and dig all the ancient places where all the divine pastimes of Krishna have happened. And so the Leela that is unfolding behind the story behind this appearance of Radha Kunda, it so happened that at one time, when Lord Krishna went and killed this demon, a bull demon called Aristasura, and it so happened that because killing a bull is in the, it's like it's a form of dharma, so it was wrong to kill a bull which is in the form of dharma. So Lord Krishna, because he killed this bull demon called Aristasura, Radharani and the gopis, they tell Krishna that he has to purify himself. So Krishna, he exhibited a beautiful leela, but by just kicking his feet into the ground, he makes a big hole. And not only, and instead of going and purifying himself in all the holy rivers, he himself makes a big hole with his feet. He exhibits this leela, and then all the different Ganges, the Yamuna and Saraswati, and all of the different rivers, they just come over there, and with the permission of Krishna, enter into this beautiful pond, the lake called as Shamkund. So this Shamkund was actually, it was Krishna himself who created this, and by the beautiful powers of Krishna, all the Ganges and all the rivers, they came there, and with Krishna's permission, they entered into this Shamkund. and seeing this beautiful feat, because the one of the very nice thing about Krishna's pastimes in the place of Vrindavan is that there is always kind of competitive spirit that is going on between Radharani and Sri Krishna Bhagwan. So when Krishna created this Sham Kund and filled with the Ganges, with the water, purifying water of all the Ganges and Yamuna and Saraswati and Godavari, that's when Radharani seen the feat, and she herself tried to exhibit that by digging another big hole next to Shamkund, and they used their own bangles and the different tools to dig the pond, but it was very dry. And at that time, seeing the determination of Radharani, all the rivers again they came and they requested for permission for her consent to fill the Radha Kund with all the purifying waters of holy waters of Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati and Godavari. And when Radharani given her consent, and all the purifying waters, a combination of all the Ganges and all the holy waters from Shamkund flowed into Radhakund. So it is a beautiful leela how Radhakund has manifested. Bahulastami is what we call it in this month of Kartik. And so this pastime happened in this month of Kartik, and it's called as Bahulastami, and it happened on the 14th of October, as we can see over here, and it was celebrated in manner as well, this appearance of Radhakund. And such a beautiful Leela. It shows the beautiful divine love between Radha and Krishna. And as devotees, we kind of like, we take a lot of, we relish the nectar, like how the appearance of Radha Kund happened next to Sham Kund. Krishna himself creates this mighty lake and fills it with all the holy purifying rivers. And Krishna and Radha Kund itself is an appearance. So the Goswamis, they mention that this Radha Kund is none other than a liquefied form of Radharani. This is a liquefied form of Radharani. Just like when Krishna comes in a wooden form, it is Lord Jagannath. When Krishna comes in the form of a Saligram, that is Radharaman. So like that, even Radharani, when she manifested in liquid form, that is Radha Kund. So Krishna himself would mention that anybody who takes a dip or a bath in this Radha Kund, they will be completely spiritual. They will get the spiritual benefit, and they'll get the pure love of Krishna, and they will attain to the spiritual toward the spiritual world towards the end of the life. So it is very, very purifying to kind of like worship. It is supposed to be the most holiest place in Vrindavan and on the planet itself, because this has been glorified by Lord Krishna himself. And the beauty about it is that, in Sanatana Dharma, how nice, isn't it? Krishna and Radharani, during their pastimes, this Shamkund and Radhakund appeared, and later, and because over a period of time, this big lake, this big Radhakund and Shamkund, they became obscure, and they became like small ponds, like in the paddy fields. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's none other than Sri Krishna Bhagwan himself, when he went to Vrindavan, then of course it is Krishna himself, right? All the pastimes where he happened. In fact, he only sent the Goswamis to dig in all the pastime places where Krishna did his leelas during 5,000 years ago. So these Shamkund and Ramkund, they will become like small ponds in the paddy fields. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu identified this Shamkund and Radhakund, and he himself took a bath in this Radhakund. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself took a bath in this Radhakund, and he taken the dip on the holy waters. He sprinkled himself, and he put a tilak from this during this Radhakund pastime, and he glorified, and he told all the Goswamis that this is the highest place of bliss of worship to be done by all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So we just wanted to share about how beautiful is it. So after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found this place of Radhakund and Shamkund, again it was excavated, and all the Goswamis, they have personally again brought this to life. And today, when you go to Vrindavan, we can see this beautiful appearance of Shamkund and Radhakund, and the devotees take a holy dip. In fact, even when I went there, I was totally new and did not know the significance of it 10 years back or maybe 9 years back when I went. So, but we still sprinkled some water because we were just trying to get to know about Radhakund. So I thought I should just share about this beautiful Bahulastami, which happened during this month of Kartik, because, as devotees, we all just share about the Leelas, isn't it? Sri Krishna Bhagavan tells in Bhagavad Gita, Machitta Madgata Pranam Bodhayante Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tusyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So Krishna is saying, my devotees, they're always thinking about me. They're always thinking about me. They're always glorifying me. And they get great satisfaction and bliss by always enlightening and discussing about Krishna Katha with each other. And this is part of the Chatur Sloka in Bhagavad Gita from chapter number 10, Vibhuti Yoga. So I just wanted to mention that this is what Krishna is expecting from this satsang. Krishna is expecting that as devotees of Krishna, we discuss about the beautiful pastimes of Krishna. And this is what will give us the real joy of Krishna consciousness that I be. Because if you just go to Vrindavan and just see this place, you think that, oh, yeah, maybe this is another lake, you know, okay, yeah, nice lake, and you can come back. But when you know the pastimes, that this was dug by Radharani herself, and you know, and all the purifying waters, it's a combination, all the holy waters themselves came and manifested, and they, with the permission of Krishna and Radharani, they have come and filled up. So you can imagine that instead of going to Ganges and we're going to Yamuna and Saraswati and Godavari, here it's a confluence, or it is a combination of all the holy rivers that are filled together in this Radha Kund. So very, very holy place. So I was thinking, as Krishna conscious devotees, we should share with each other about this pastime. Is there anything like anybody would like to add, or if there's any corrections or anything, also please feel free to let me know. Induleka Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Vrindavan Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. We were just talking about Radha Kund.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I accept my humble obeisances to Goti Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Nisha ji.
Beautiful.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. My humble obeisances to all the devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, Vrindavan Prabhu, anyone would you like to add? Because you are from Vrindavan. So you can.
No, I listen to your mouth.
When I was just listening to this Leela of appearance of Radha Kund, because, you know, like the beauty about Krishna consciousness is that every year, every day, we are discovering something new, and it is still fresh. The nectar of Krishna consciousness is that the pastimes are so much like nectar that every time we kind of like finding out something new, learning something new. It is ever fresh, just like Krishna is ever fresh. Krishna's Leelas are also ever fresh, isn't it? So we always get to know, and we try to share with each other how important it is to Radha Kund, that Radha Kund is none other than the liquefied form of Krishna, of Radharani. She is the liquefied form of Radharani, has been mentioned by all the Goswamis, and all the Goswamis have highly spoken about the importance of Radha Kund himself. All the Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva, especially Jiva Goswami as well. He's just mentioned about that. So they themselves, we should really thank the Goswamis, all the 6 Goswamis, because they are the ones who have brought to life all the beautiful pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. All of them were covered. Like I said, this Radha Kund, Shyam Kund, they became like small ponds actually 500 years ago, and in the middle of paddy fields. But it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Krishna himself, who identified these places and asked the Goswamis to excavate and bring them back to life. So that's how we are so fortunate that we are now, if we go to Vrindavan, we can take a dip in this Radha Kund. And it is somewhere near Govardhan Hill. So that's what my understanding. So I just wanted to just share with you before we go ahead. And also, I hope everybody is doing the lamp for Damodara Bhagwan and Yashoda Mataji. So maybe in front of you, I will just offer our obeisances to Yashoda Damodara as well. Jai Yashoda Damodara Bhagwan ki Jai, Yashoda Damodara Bhagwan ki Jai, Yashoda Damodara Bhagwan ki Jai. And also, yes, Prabhuji.
I want to like to this, you know, when the Radha Kund is then Raghunath Das Goswami and Samadhi.
Yes.
It's a very, very auspicious place, a very nice place. And all of the Vaishnava, all the time in singing Kirtan. So nice. So nice. And all the time when I go to Vrindavan, Radha Kund, I all the time Raghunath Das Goswami Samadhi temple, I'm sit down and listening Vaishnava Bhajan Kirtan. So beautiful, really. I love. Anybody can go and then you can Raghunath Das Goswami Samadhi Bhajan Kutir. Very nice. That's why you have to this thing.
Yeah, definitely, Prabhuji. You have to add nectar. You are from you're a Brajavasi. We have to learn from. We have to listen to your narration of these pastimes. So beautiful. And I was just thinking, it's a month of Kartik, and I normally sing this song again. And this song has both Radharani and Damodara. So I will just sing this small song before we get into the Krishna. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Damodarati Vardhana Veshe Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe Damodarati Vardhana Veshe Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Rishabhanudadi Navashashileke Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Karunam Kuru Mai Karuna Barite Sanata Sanatana Varnita Charite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's Radha Kunda appearance on 14th, so I was just thinking maybe a small bhajan in the name of Radharani. Thank you, Prabhuji. So that's about the Radha Kund. So we are just going back to this beautiful chapter which we started off, chapter number 69. We covered 69 chapters by the grace of Radharani and Krishna Bhagavan. We started this chapter. So before that, I'll just do the invocation and we get into the prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. As we always mention, the beautiful sloka from Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti takritaha chakta deham punar janma naiti mameti sorjana. It is mentioned that one who listening to Krishna Katha, it is so auspicious that towards the end of the life, anybody who's listening to Krishna Katha towards the end of his life, he will not come back into this material world, but they will go back to the supreme planet of Krishna, which is called as Krishna Loka. So on that note, we were seeing this beautiful chapter unfolding where we see that the great sage Narada, who keeps traveling between all the universes, he's visiting the different homes of Lord Krishna in Dvaraka, because he has seen that we all know about that Lord Krishna has married 16,108 queens after killing this Bhamasura. So Narada Muni is very inquisitive to find out like how Krishna is actually managing to marry. He's married 16,000, and how this beautiful Leela is unfolding. So Narada Muni goes to Krishna and he sees, we can get to know through this beautiful narration that when Narada Muni arrived in Dvaraka, they saw beautiful gardens and parks, and the whole cities were so beautiful, and they had 900,000 great palaces. So we're talking about just 16,000 queens, but actually there are 900,000 great palaces of first-class marble. So we can find that the actual opulence of the land of Bharat was during the time of Dwapara Yuga, where everything was so much of opulence in everywhere. And the cities were built by the Vishwakarma, the great architect of Lord Krishna. So you can imagine at what level the opulence must have been. So we covered last week, we've seen that Narada Muni first is gone actually to the first palace of Rukmini Devi, and he was actually seeing that all the places, they were bedecked with with gold and diamonds, and even the scented fumes, and the scented fumes were coming in such a way that even the peacocks have mistaken it for the clouds, and they started dancing all over the place and things like that. So we seen all those places till here we covered, and we seen also even the maid servants, even they were decorated with gold necklaces. This is not, we don't see that in Kali Yuga, right? We can see a clear distinction. When you see somebody's home, you find the maid servants in a very simple one. You don't find maid servants opulent if you go to any other place, isn't it? We saw only the house owners or landowners, they're being opulent. But here we can see that during the time of Dwaraka, even the maid servants also, they were decorated with gold necklaces and things like that. So we covered actually till here. The servants were engaged in all their household duties. So maybe we can get started off from here. Anyone who would like to read?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Yes, Nishaji, please go ahead.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Narad saw that Lord Krishna was sitting with Rukmani Devi, the mistress of that particular palace, who was holding the handle of uh, Kamara whisk. Even though there were many thousand of maid servants, equally beautiful and qualified and of the same age, Rukmani Devi personally was engaged in fanning Lord Krishna. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, worshipped even by Narada. Yet, as soon as Krishna saw Narad enter the palace, he got down immediately from Rukmani's bedstead and stood up to honor him. Lord Krishna is the teacher of the whole world, and in order to instruct everyone how to respect a saintly person like Narad Muni, he bowed down, touching his helmet to the ground. Not only did Krishna bow down, but he also touched the feet of Narad and with folded hands requested him to sit on his chair. Lord Krishna is the supreme personality worshipped by all devotees. He is the most worshipable spiritual master of everyone. The Ganga's water, which emanates from his feet, sanctifies the three worlds. All qualified Brahmins worship him, and therefore he is called Brahman Dev. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
It's fine, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Nishaji. So we can see that the Leela is unfolding, and I can't. There's so much of nectar in this because many times people, like, of course, you're not in Krishna consciousness, or even when you're new to Krishna consciousness, because we come with so many questions, isn't it? Because Krishna says there are four kind of devotees who come to Krishna, right? The one kind of devotees who are in problems, material problems, and all kind of things. Second kind of devotees are looking for a lot of Lakshmi. They want to have a lot of money. In today's material world, right? Everybody's struggling to meet the bills and things like that. And the third kind of devotees are someone who is like very inquisitive, yeah? Like, because they would have brought up listening to the stories from the grandparents and all, but they had so many questions, but they don't know where to go and answer the questions. So sometimes they go to the temple to understand, a bit more about clarifying the questions out of curiosity. How did Krishna went and marry 16,000? How was he able to manage all these things? So many questions in their mind. How is it possible for a lot to because, in this material world, we are always thinking about things in a very logical way. So Krishna defies all kind of a logic. Logic is only for us to live in this material. It doesn't apply to Krishna, because every beautiful Leela of Krishna, there is no logic in that. And the fourth kind of a devotee is someone who has come to see only Krishna. So material problems, financial problems, inquisitiveness, third one, and fourth one are pure devotees who only for the love of Krishna. So here we can see that Narad Muni was very curious to see, like, trying to understand, like, how is it that, how this Leela is unfolding. But again, Narad Muni, he's always glorifying Krishna. He plays a very important role in Krishna Leela. So this is basically to give us the nectar. Narad Muni is trying to do this as part of the Krishna Leela. So he sees that when he comes to this place of this palace of Krishna and Rukmini Devi, even though there are so many maid servants, Lord Rukmini Devi herself was personally attending to, to worshipping Krishna, even though there were so many maid servants and all that. And when he sees Narad Muni, because Krishna is called as a Jagat Guru, right? He is the Jagat Guru, and we seen that he's given us the most beautiful Bhagavad Gita, where he spoke to Arjuna, and indirectly through Arjuna, he's speaking to all of us, right? And there's no better place to explain about how to live in this material world than on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So Krishna, before the war started, he explained about the beautiful Bhagavad Gita. But again, like as I said, Krishna is the Jagat Guru, so he's setting an example. But when he comes in the human form, people think that, not to be mistaken, because Janma Karma Cha Divyam, which means that anything that Krishna done is not to be taken on the material platform, but should be taken on the transcendental spiritual platform. And Krishna is setting an example that as long as you're living in this material world, you should have to worship, or you have to respect the Brahman, this thing, because Krishna himself is Chaturvarnyam Maya system Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Krishna is saying these four divisions of the human society, Arjuna: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudra. These four Chaturvarnyam, the four Varnas, have been started by Krishna himself. But they are based on the quality of work that we're doing, and by nature, everybody is in a certain mood, like, if you are completely attracted to the spiritual scriptures and you're spending all your time on that, you're educating other people, then you're a Brahmana. So like that, if you're having the Kshatriya spirit, then you're a Kshatriya. It's not based on birth, but it's based on the quality of work we do. So Krishna is showing us that when a Brahmin comes, this is how you have to respect a Brahmin, saintly person like Narada Muni. So he's going down to even Narada Muni, and he's trying to set an example to us. So Krishna not only comes to kill the demons and do the pastimes with the devotees, but he's also setting an example to show that as long as we are living in this material world, this is how we have to respect saintly people like Narada. So he personally himself touched the feet of Narada with folded hands and requested him to sit on the chair. So this is how he's setting an example. And we've seen that even when Sudama, his friend, came, he literally did all the ritual. He literally sprinkled the water on his head, he washed his feet and things like that. So imagine the importance that Krishna is showing us, whether you have a dear friend who's coming and visited to you. Atiti Devo Baba, we say that uninvited guests, whoever uninvited guests come to the home, this is how you have to respect. And even though the Ganges are emanating from his feet, you can see that as a Brahmana has come to him, he's like showing him how to worship him. So that is why when we had this beautiful prayer, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself recited. So in Krishna consciousness, we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We are chanting these mantras because these have come from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, the first thing that I pray as well, this Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. This is the mantra, this is the sloka which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself recited in front of Lord Jagannath. Right? Namo Brahmanya Devaya. So here you're seeing like he is someone who's very, very dear to the Brahmanas, very, very dear to the cows. Namo Brahmanya Devaya. So here we can see the Ganges which emanate from him sanctifies the three world. All glorified Brahmanas worship him, and therefore he is called as Brahmanya Devaya, someone who's worshipped by all the Brahmanas. So this is what is the beginning, where Krishna is setting an example, how when Narada is going to see like how Krishna is, living with all the 16,000 queens, you can see that how Krishna himself is expanded into 16,108 forms. This is the beauty of Krishna, how he can expand himself. Just like how Krishna is expanded as Paramatma in the hearts of all the living entities. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshi Arjuna is sitting in everyone's heart. So imagine how Paramatma is expanded in Sri Krishna is expanded as Paramatma in the hearts of all the living entities, not just as human being, but all the living entities. So can I request anyone to read the next one?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Maybe I can go. Hare Krishna devotees. Yeah. Brahmanya means one who fully possesses the Brahmanical qualifications, which are said to be as follows: truthfulness, self-control, purity, mastery of the senses, simplicity, full knowledge by practical application, and engagement in devotional service. Lord Krishna possesses all these qualities, and he is worshipped by persons who themselves possess such qualities. There are thousands and millions of names of Lord Krishna, Vishnu Sahasranama, and all of them are given to him because of his transcendental qualities.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Should I continue, Prabhuji? Or?
Yeah, okay, fine. You can continue the next one.
No. Lord Krishna in Dvaraka enjoyed the pastimes of perfect human being. Therefore, when he washed the feet of the sage Narada and took the water on his head, Narada did not object, knowing well that the Lord did so to teach everyone how to respect saintly persons. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the original Narayana, eternal friend of all living entities, thus worshipped the sage Narada according to Vedic regulative principles. Welcoming him with sweet nectarian words, he addressed Narada as Bhagwan, or one who is self-sufficient, possessing all knowledge, renunciation, strength, fame, beauty, and other similar opulences. He particularly asked Narada, "What can I do in your service?" Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here, very nicely through Krishna Katha is not only beautiful stories, but there's so much of knowledge and so much we can understand about how the Vedic culture was in the Dwapara Yuga. Like here we say a definition of what Brahmanya means, someone who possesses all their Brahminical qualifications. like truthfulness, self-control, purity, master of senses, simplicity, full knowledge by practical application and engagement in devotional service. Such a beautiful thing which Krishna has, all the qualities. We all know that Krishna possesses 64 major qualities. And also, like, how, but the beauty of Krishna is when he came in the human form, like he was trying to exhibit all these qualities, like how to worship, or how to show your respect towards the Brahmanas and things like that. And these 1,000 names of Krishna in Vishnu Sahasranama, we all know about that all the rishis in the ancient times, in their meditation for thousands of years, they used to meditate on Krishna. And in their meditation, each and every rishi used to get a name. In their vision, they used to get a name of Krishna. So all those rishis gathered these 1,000 names of Vishnu Sahasranamam, and they collected all these 1,000 names and given it to Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva collected this garland of 1,000 names of Krishna, and he's given it to Bhishma Pitama. And Lord Krishna, in order to emphasize, the beauty about Mahabharata, if you see, is Bhagavan Sri Krishna could have spoken Bhagavad Gita anywhere else, but he wanted to highlight the place it was mentioned in Kurukshetra just before the war begins. Imagine a world war was beginning, and Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita at that time. Similarly, when Bhishma Pitamaha was lying on a bow of arrows, but towards his last end of his life, Lord Krishna, he asked Bhishma Pitamaha, recite these 1,000 names of Vishnu Sahasranama, because these are the names which are given by ancient sages in their meditation. And Bhishma Pitamaha, Krishna requests Bhishma Pitamaha, reveal these 1,000 names to the whole world, let the whole world know. And then Bhishma Pitamaha tells Yudhishthira that the highest, because Yudhishthira asking Bhishma Pitamaha, please tell me which is the highest dharma in human life. Which is the highest dharma? What is it the highest that we have to do? And that is when Bhishma Pitamaha reveals to Yudhishthira the highest dharma in human life is to glorify Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And then he goes on to glorify Krishna with these 1,000 names of Krishna which were being given to him by Vedavyas. Very beautiful. And each of the name of Vishnu Sahasranama are so beautiful because it tells us the beautiful qualities of Krishna. Vishwam Vishnur Vasatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Krut Bhuta Brudbhavu Budbha Bhuta. Like that, he goes on reciting these 1,000 beautiful names. So here we are, and each of these names we can understand how pure they are. They tell us, they can give us a nectar of how many qualities that Krishna has, 1,000 different attributes of Krishna, 1,000 qualities and 1,000 names. So we can imagine how Krishna Krishna is infinite. Nothing is enough. Even the names and the glories are infinite. There's so much to Krishna. But here a nice point has been mentioned of the 1,000 and millions of names of Krishna, and that is so true. He kills the demon, so he becomes Madhusudana and Keshava, Govinda. Similarly, when he's playing with his mother, because he was tied by Mother Yashoda around the waist, and that's why he's called as Damodara. So like that, Krishna has so many different names, isn't it? So Lord Krishna was, so a nice mention has been begun about Brahmanya and about Krishna's qualities, that how he's being worshipped by the different devotees, by persons who possess such kind of qualities. And in those days, even the Brahmanas also, there was a very clear-cut classification that even the Brahmanas they were so much deep into scriptures and meditation and passing on this knowledge to all the kings, and all the kings used to take advice from the Brahmanas. So can I request anyone for the next verse?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Meenakshi ji, Mataji, please.
Okay. Me or Adya Mataji? Okay, Lord, only up to here, yeah? Lord Krishna in Dvaraka enjoyed the pastime of perfect human being. Therefore, when he wished the...
Sorry, Mataji, I think he's already read it, right?
Me?
No, I think it's Prabhuji, Pavan Prabhu, you already read this, isn't it?
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, you can just read the next one. I'll just kind of like mention a point on this one, Mataji. So one of the things I was just bringing to mind where Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Avijananti ma moda manusham tanimashirita parambhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Krishna says, fools they derived, when I come in the human form, they think that I am just an ordinary human being. They do not know my transcendental nature, that I am the supreme Lord of the universe. So here Krishna, even though when he came in a human form, he kind of like showed us how to worship great sages. So he was washing the feet of Narada, he was sprinkling the water on his head, just to teach everybody how to respect the saintly people. So Narada Muni, because he's being a pure devotee of Krishna, he knew that this is what Krishna was doing, all this just to teach everybody in the world a lesson, because he is the Jagat Guru. And that's the reason, because Krishna is, why Krishna, and he's addressing Narada as Bhagwan. Bhagwan means someone who has the six opulences. And he himself is addressing Narada because he has all the knowledge, renunciation, strength, fame, and beauty. And Krishna himself is asking Narada what service that he can do for him. So this is what we can learn from Krishna. Krishna is setting an example that when a saintly person comes to your place, you should worship them, you should offer all the homage to them, and then we should ask, like, how can I serve you? In fact, the very mantra called Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the meaning of the mantra is, we are praying to Radharani and Krishna, please engage us in your divine service. And now that Supreme Lord whom we are praying the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is asking Narada Muni, what can I do in your service? So that's the beauty about it. Sorry, Meenakshi ji, you can read from here. Sorry, it was already covered, so.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Narada replied, "My dear Lord, the kind of behavior by your lordship is not at all astonishing, for you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Master of all species of living entity. You are the supreme friend of all living entity, but at the same time you are the supreme chaster of the miscreant and the inverse. I know that your lordship, the descendant to this earth for the proper maintenance of the whole universe, your appearance therefore is not a force by any other agency, by your sweet will only. You agreed to appear and disappear. It is my great fortune that I have been able to see your lotus feet today. Anyone who becomes attached to your lotus feet is elevated to the supreme position of neutrality and is uncontaminated by the material moods of nature. My Lord, you are unlimited. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much, Meenakshi ji. So here, so Narad Muni, the pure devotees, they can understand the Lord much, because they are totally above all the gunas, like Rajoguna and Tamoguna. They're in the mood of pure Sattva Guna, and that's the reason why they can understand why the Lord has come into this material. So Narad Muni himself is saying, I know why you are doing all this, because you are the Supreme Lord and the Master of all this. Like as I said, Krishna says, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshi Arjuna. He's sitting in the hearts of all the living entities. And he's the supreme friend, Suhridam Sarva Bhutana, which means he is the best well-wisher and he is the best friend of all the living entities. But again, Krishna came with a purpose. When Mother Earth took the form of a cow, and she prayed and she went crying to Brahma. Brahma went and meditated on Vishnu, and we know that. And that's when Krishna, the very famous sloka says, Paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya duskritam dharma samstapanardaya sambhavami yuge yuge. For two purposes he comes: for the love of devotees, and also to kind of teach a lesson, or to kill the miscreants and the envious people like Kamsa and Shishupal and so many of demoniac people in those days. So Narad Muni knows, as a pure devotee, he knows the reason why he has descended onto the earth. And unlike us, who are bounded by karma and you are controlled by all these three modes, Krishna appears and disappears at his own free will. And we know that unlike us, we take in a normal birth. Krishna appeared in a four-armed Narayana form in the beginning. And when Mother Yashoda was so scared that what will happen if Kamsa goes and sees Krishna in this form, what will happen to this child? Because he was in that bhava of Vatsalya bhava. And then Krishna once again transformed into a two-armed form. So Krishna appears out of his own will and to whenever it's required. So we can see that So Narada Muni is offering his prayers. It's a great fortune that Krishna, that Narada Muni could see his lotus feet, and is uncontaminated by the. So what the difference between us and Krishna is? We are Anu Atma. Krishna is Anu Atma, and we are Vibhu Atma. Is it the other way around? But the main this thing is, we have an Atma and we are conscious in only in this body. But Krishna is conscious of all the body because he's sitting as Paramatma, he's sitting in everyone's in one. And other the difference is we are controlled by the three modes of material nature, but Krishna is completely spiritual, Sachitananda Vigraha, so he's totally uncontaminated by the three modes of material nature. In fact, he's above and he commands the three modes of the material nature. And we all know that Krishna is totally unlimited. There's no limit to the opulences. In fact, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? When Arjuna says, like, how can we know you about your opulences? Krishna says, Arjuna, my opulences are unlimited, but I will tell you a brief of my opulences. So we can imagine even his opulences are unlimited. So great demigods like, or devatas like Brahma and Shiva, they are also placing, meditating upon Krishna. So we can see that Narad Muni is nicely offering his praise because he understands the Lord very well. He's always been part of the Leelas, and he knows that they are the only shelter of all the conditioned soul. And very beautifully, Narad Muni here is saying that you are the shelter of all the conditioned soul. So all of us, there is no discrimination. Krishna never discriminates between any rich person or a poor person, that anybody can take shelter of Krishna. Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepisyo papayonaha striyo vaishyas tata sudra tepi mam param gatim. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, anybody who's taking to the lotus feet of Krishna can take shelter of Krishna. It doesn't matter whether you're a Sudra, whether you're Vaishyas, you're a Brahman, you're a Kshatriya, anybody who's taking to the shelter of Krishna, they're eligible to engage in bhakti towards Krishna, and they're all eligible to go back to the spiritual world. So Krishna doesn't discriminate among him. He says very clearly, Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. I do not show any partiality. I do not show any envy towards anyone. But anyone who takes the shelter of Krishna, Krishna says, I will be as a friend to him. So we have to understand Krishna is ready to be a friend to all the living entities. But it's just that we have to approach Krishna. So here he's saying, you have very kindly asked what you can do for me. And imagine, this is the prayer of a pure devotee, right? Here Narada Muni is saying, I simply wish that I may not forget your lotus feet at any time. So this is the devotee's prayer, that I do not care where I am. I pray that I constantly allowed to remember the lotus feet. Very, very important. If you had to have a takeaway from today's session, it is the prayer of Narada Muni, where Krishna himself is saying, what service can I do for you, Narada? And Narada himself is saying, I don't want to enact anything. I only want this small request that I should never forget your lotus feet at any point of time. So this is the kind of a mood that we have to develop. This is the mood why it is important to listen to Krishna Katha is we can understand the mood of the pure devotee, as we have to follow in the footsteps of pure devotees like Narada Muni and the gopis, who do not want anything else. They just want Krishna's lotus feet. So as I was mentioning, there are four kind of pious people. Krishna himself, they go to Krishna. Tesham nitya yukta eka bhaktir vishishyate priyo hi jnanino chartam aham sacha mama priya. Krishna says there are four kind of devotees that come to me, but one who's coming out of pure love for me, Arjuna, I can't. That particular devotee is very dear to me, and I am very dear to that person. So Krishna wants this kind of love, where we are just saying that, Krishna, I do not want to forget your lotus feet. That's the only prayer that I have. I do not crave for anything else. In fact, very interestingly, in Damodarastakam as well, this is the prayer, isn't it? What is Damodarastakam? Why is it so beautiful? We can see that I just want to bring this prayer. Varam deva moksham na moksham vadim va na chenyam vriniham va rashadapiha idam teva purnata gopala balam sadami manisha virasam kimanye. In fact, this is one of the prayer in Damodarastakam. What it is saying? The prayer is saying that you see this fourth one, which says, which is the fourth one, is Varam Deva Moksham Na Moksham Vadimva Na Chainyam Vriniham Varashadapiha Idam Teva Purnata Gopala Balam Sadami Manashavirasam Kimanye. See, this is the devote, this is the prayer. This has been written, this poem is basically from Padma Purana, this Damodarastakam, and it is being given to us by Satyavrata Muni. This is again a beautiful conversation by Narada Muni as well. And I think if somebody can correct me, it was basically a conversation between Narada Muni and someone else, Brahma and Narada Muni. Vrindavan Prabhu, if you can correct me on that. So
Sorry?
here, Prabhuji, I was saying
Satyavrata Muni and Narad Muni.
Yeah, Satyavrata Muni and Narad Muni. Very good. Thank you. That's what I wanted to. So this is another again, when I was just reflecting, it's very interesting, isn't it? We are speaking about Narada Muni telling Krishna that you do not want anything but to remember the lotus feet. And here we can find a similar prayer like this in Damodarastakam. Oh Lord, although you are able to give all kind of benediction, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. Oh Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopala in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon beside this? So this is the prayer of a devotee. The devotee doesn't want mukti. He's not looking for mukti. He's not looking for Vaikuntha. Then what does he want? He just wants this beautiful form of Bala Gopala to ever be manifest in my heart. And he doesn't want any other boon. Whether I'm living in hell or whether living in heaven, I don't care. The only thing that a pure devotee wants is, he just wants the beautiful form of Krishna within his heart. In fact, that reminds me that where Krishna explains the highest form of Bhakti Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. Yoginam api sarvesam madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamamataha. The highest yogi or the highest form of Bhakti Yoga is one who's always thinking of Krishna within his heart and always chanting the holy names of Krishna. Says that is that particular devotee. He is the most purest devotee and is completely in very intimate form with Krishna. So Krishna, that devotee who's thinking of Krishna within his heart and rendering transcendental service by always chanting the Hare Krishna, he is the most intimately united with Krishna and is the highest form of yogi according to Krishna. So this is what is the aim. The why we Krishna Katha is so important, because by listening to the pure stories and these beautiful bhajans like Damodarastakam and listening to the Krishna Katha, we develop the bhava. We have to understand that this is the kind of a bhakti that we need to develop. Slowly we need to rise. It's not that one fine day, one day we are going for material problems and the another day we become a saint. It's like slowly we start developing, going up the yoga ladder. And here we see here in this last prayer also, Kuveratma jau baddha mruchaiva yadvat tvaya mochitau bhakti bhajau krutau cha tata prema bhakti swakame prayacha namokshe graho misti damodareha. So here he's saying, like again, this is another beautiful prayer which is saying like Krishna delivered the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, who had actually become cursed by Narada. It's very interesting, isn't it? Because this particular pastime, we are talking about Narada Muni and Krishna, and this Damodarastakam is also about Narada Muni. And when Narada Muni himself has cursed these 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvera, they were cursed to become 2 Yamala Arjuna trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, and they were cursed to become as trees for 100 years. And finally, the beauty is that towards the end of the curse, Krishna himself as Bala Gopala, when he was tied, to the wooden motor, and he started dragging those wooden motor. And once he went in between the 2 Yamala Arjuna trees, which is none other than the Manigriva and Nalakuvara, then the Yamala trees automatically, they were released by the touch of Krishna, Bala Gopala. The 2 Yamala trees, they were relieved from the curse and they taken the actual form of Manigriva and Nalakuvera. They were the 2 demigods, but they were cursed by Narada. So, but they were not only cursed, they were not only liberated by Krishna, but they also became great devotee of Krishna, because Manigriva and Nalakuvara, once they regained, once they came out of the curse and they got their original form as demigods, they offered their prayers to Krishna. Because when Nanda Maharaj cursed these two, when Narada Muni cursed these two demigods, Manigriva and Nalakuvara, they were also conscious that they have become as priests. They were living with that conscious that they have become as priests cursed by them. So as soon as Krishna went and touched these two Yamala Arjuna trees, they immediately regained the original form and they offered their prayers and they became devotees of Krishna. So here also again, the prayer is that just like as the two sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nalakuvara, were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with a rope to the wooden grinding. The prayer is that in the same way, the prayer you're praying to Krishna, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and I have no desire for any kind of liberation. So if you see the pure bhakti of Brajavasis, you see the beautiful prayers here we can say of Narada Muni. The prayer is that they only want prema bhakti, the loving. Why the leelas of Vrindavan are so important? Because the leelas of Vrindavan, whether it is the gopis or whether you can see the Damodar Leela, the loving relation between Mother Yashoda, or you can see any of these things, it's only about prema bhakti. So here, it is not that Manigriva and Nalakuvara, they were not only liberated, but they became great devotees of Krishna. You know, so here very nicely, one of the Vaishnava was telling, liberation is like saying that I do not have any loans, like I have a bank balance, which is, I do not have any loans. Mukti is like that. Mukti is like saying that I do not have any loans. But bhakti is something saying like my spiritual bank balance is filled. So, so here the devotees do not want liberation, but they want bhakti. And very interestingly, I have to tell you that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that yad karosi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi, yad tapasyasi kaunteya tad kurusu madarpanam, which means Krishna is saying that when you offer everything, whatever you do, whatever you offer, whatever charity that you do everything as an offering to Krishna. Om Krishna Arpanam. Whatever you work that you're doing, whenever you're eating food, or whether you're working, or whether you're buying a house, do everything as an offering to him. And when you do that, Krishna himself is saying, Shubha Shubha Palarevam Moksasi Karma Bandhana Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma Vimuktamam. In this way, by doing everything as an offering to Krishna, Sri Krishna Bhagavan is also teaching us that when you do everything as an offering to Krishna, then you will not be binded by any karmic reaction, and you will be liberated, and you will also get bhakti, and you will go back to Krishna. So through the Krishna Leela, through the Bhagavad Gita, we get to know that the highest thing is not mukti, but bhakti. That is the most important thing. So I was just thinking, like, we should just go, because it's the month of Kartik, so we should always reflect on these beautiful pastimes of Damodarastakam also, and try to understand the nectar which is within the Damodarastakam. What is it? Is Damodarastakam just a bhajan? No, it's filled with nectar of a pure devotee's prayer, telling that Krishna, we don't want anything, we don't want liberation, but we just want your love. So here, Narada Muni is offering the same request. He's saying, just let me always remember your lotus feet. In fact, Brahma has a beautiful prayer in Brahma Samhita. Prema jana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shama sundara chinta guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. That's the mood of a pure devotee. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochan. So the pure devotees, they see Krishna everywhere in every walk of their life. They see the hand of Krishna in everything that they are doing in their life. And they're just thinking about Krishna always in their heart. And this is what the beautiful prayer of Damodarastakam, right? Where we're saying that we just want the beautiful form of Krishna always manifesting in our heart. And this is what Lord Brahma is praying to Krishna in Brahma Samhita as well. So I just want to stop over here. The nectar keeps flowing, and we're going to just continue where Narada Muni is just requesting Krishna to offer this benediction to always remember his lotus feet. So here I'll just touch a little bit. By asking this benediction, the sage Narada is showing that this is the ideal prayer of pure devotee. Because many times we wonder, what should be an ideal prayer? The ideal prayer should be like this, that the pure devotee is saying, let me always remember your lotus feet, and you do not want anything. This is even the prayer of even great devotees like Bhakta Prahalad, when Narasimha Dev asked, like, you have done so much you have gone through so much of pain because of your father, Hiranyakashipu. Tell me, what do you want? And Prahalad Maharaj said, I'm not a mercantile businessman. I do not want anything from you. I just want to always remember you. And if there's anything that you can do, please forgive my father. That's all. Because he is so ignorant that he does not know that you are the Lord of the universe. Please forgive him. And this is the prayer of a pure devotee. He's not praying anything for himself, but he's praying for the welfare of the whole world. So a pure devotee is never asking for any material or spiritual benediction from the Lord. His only prayer is that he may not forget the lotus feet of the Lord in any condition of life. Because many times it so happens that when we are in a good mood, or when you're with the devotees, or when we go to the temple, we remember the Lord, we offer our prayers. Once we come out, again, we are in the Maya world, right? We forget Krishna, we get lost in so many other things. So the prayer of pure devotees, while we are living in this material world, so please make sure, please give us this benediction that we always will remember you. And this pure devotee doesn't care whether it's heaven or hell. He's satisfied anything. So even if you put him in hell also, he's just sitting and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. This is the prayer of a pure devotee. So this is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came to teach us. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Iva Kevalam, Kalo Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Nasti, Bhagatiranyata. That there is one and only way in this material world to develop the love for Krishna, to get out of all these samskaras which we have, all the bad karmas that we accumulated from so many births. In Sristastikam also he clearly mentioned that only devotional service, that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us, the essence of pure devotional service. That a pure devotee does not even want to stop the repetition of birth and death. He's not saying that, give me mukti and come on, let me come out of this repetition, this cycle of birth and death. No, he's not even praying for that. It doesn't matter whether he takes birth in the various species, whether he's coming as a bird, whether he's coming as a human being. His only ambition is that he doesn't want to forget the lotus feet of Lord in any condition of life. That's the only thing that he's doing. Mam choya vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samityaitin brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that one should rise above the three gunas, then he can enjoy the nectar even in this life. So because we are all being controlled by the three modes of material nature, Krishna says, Mam choya vyabhicharena bhakti yogena. So we should always rise above these three gunas, and the way to rise above these three gunas and to follow the footsteps, by following the footsteps of the pure devotees and by chanting continuously the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, in this way we can rise above the three gunas to the level of pure Sattva Guna, Suddha Sattva Guna, and in that mood we can offer our prayers and we can enjoy nectar even in this life. So I want to stop over here because this is where Narada Muni is also kind of trying to set an example. So the Lord is setting an example by honoring a great saint like Narada Muni, by washing his feet and sprinkling the water and asking him what service he can do. And Narada Muni is setting an example of a perfect, pure devotee by telling that he doesn't want anything but to remember the lotus feet of the Lord. So I will stop here and I will just open for any reflections, any corrections. I'm just a fallen soul, just trying to
Beautiful.
this Krishna Katha with all our devotees.
Beautiful.
Hare Krishna Vrindavan Ras Prabhuji. What can be beautiful?
One is the Bhaktivinoda Thakur song I heard about that. Kito Jani Janma Hoi, more as Bhakta Jani Janma. I do not go to Vaikuntha. Even I going to go to the devotee. Kit means ants, ant, and living in the ants and the devotee house all the time chanting and holy names. Because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and chanting and dancing Sivas house, and all the time it's everyone listening and Sivas. This example about that. And then say even Sivas mother-in-law came, even Mahaprabhu knows he can kick out because she doesn't like to she hiding to listening to Mahaprabhu dancing, and the Mahaprabhu say today is not happy because someone in hiding in the house. Then that's a Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song. Kito Jani Janmo Hoi Tu Adas Bhakta Grihe Jani Janme More As. I went to living, I went to, and born is devotee house and chanting, listening holy names, the Lord.
Beautiful. Very nice. Prabhuji, it's like having the association of Vrindavan, Prabhu, is like being in Vrindavan. So association of pure Vaishnava like you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
No, that's Bhaktivinoda song. I know that because that's.
So I think you did sing this beautiful bhajan earlier as well. We always love to listen to your bhajan. Maybe next session, maybe you should sing a bhajan for us, Prabhuji. That will be nice. Vrindavan, Prabhuji. I would like to ask Indulek Mataji, Prabhavati Mataji, anything would you like to add? Any realizations, corrections?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, no correction. Very nicely explained, and you go as if tape is on. You know everything, and put on your fingers all the verses of Bhagavad Gita and all. And you also explain about the Radha Kund, which is very, very interesting. And I heard that some people, some devotees, they get gold coins and silver coins, they put in pumpkins, and they put it in the Radha Kund on Bahulastami Day at midnight.
Oh, okay. You put the coins in the pumpkin.
Yeah, they cut a little bit on top, and then they put the coins, and then they close it again. They put it in the. That is kind of giving charity, like anonymous charity.
Okay.
Whoever can do it, they do it. Otherwise, at midnight, because Radha Kund appeared at midnight, so the devotee just dip in the water at midnight. I had a friend who went. He was telling. He says it was so cold, and so many people were lining up just to dip, waiting for the midnight to dip in. So auspicious. Also, we should never put our foot in Radha Kund or Shyam Kund. We just take water in our palm and then sprinkle on us. So it's not appropriate to put our foot, unless somebody wants to dip in, they have to put their foot in. Otherwise, no. Very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. It's very nice. You clarified two things for this thing. I was wondering, in the past tense, it's mentioned about midnight, and I was wondering why. But as you clarified, it's because the appearance happened in midnight.
Yes.
And second thing, so nicely mentioned about the charity. And I was also wondering, if it's so pure, how is it like, the devotees can go and have a, do their bath in that? And but very nicely you mentioned that, just sprinkle the water from the Radha Kund.
Yeah, before we even dip in, we have to ask for forgiveness, of course. Right? Yes, Radha Kund is so sacred. But then not everybody do that. Maybe few devotees, they have this capacity of doing, but otherwise, my family, we never begin with. We just stand and then we take a little bit of water on our hand, and then we just sprinkle. Any kund we go, we do the same.
Yes. Yeah. I think it really makes sense, and it's like, offering our respects. And I think that's what, when we went with the ISKCON monk, they suggested, just take the water and sprinkle. And that's why I think we did the right thing then. We taken the water and sprinkled on ourselves, didn't take a bath or anything like that. But of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, of course, he was eager to get dip, and he was really relishing the pastime because he was trying to remove even the bhava of Radharani.
Yeah, because he is Radharani, like in the bhava of Radharani, Krishna himself, he knew, but then he uncovered that place because it was kind of lost.
Yes.
So he was the one, and then he blessed it. That's why he blessed her, and then that's why the Goswamis reintroduced the Kunda.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Very, very nice, Mataji. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the mood of Radharani, so that bhava was there, that loving this thing is there between, and so nicely both Madhurya Rasa as well as Vatsalya Rasa in this month of Kartik in the form of this Radha Kund and Krishna Kund, this loving reciprocation between both the kunds, and like how the Mother Yashoda showed the Vatsalya Rasa. So beautiful, isn't it? Sometimes it's Krishna consciousness is ever fresh and ever growing in terms of the pastimes, and this is what I really love about Krishna consciousness is through the devotees you always get to know some new things. So beautiful. And that's how we had to slowly progress. We had to slowly learn step by step, bit more on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, more on Radha Kund, more on Radharani. So this is the way in which we relish every day, and that's how our knowledge and our Krishna consciousness will always be ever fresh with us.
Yes,
so
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastra Kahiye, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoye. So we are having the Sangha, right? We are not sadhu, but we are having the Sangha. So we are learning. Lava Matra, it's like if you take a pin, the tip of the pin, is that moment, like, you know, you take that pin, you put in a petal of a lotus flower. How many seconds does it take you? That moment, if you associate, that's why association of devotees is really very crucial for us if we want to grow in Krishna consciousness.
Yes, definitely. It's so beautiful. I mean, I'm like, I feel like a small child every time I get to know something, and I'm like so excited. I just wanted to, come and share and also learn from our devotees. So when I hear something or if I'm learning something, also I feel like we should share with each other. As Krishna says that this is what he's expecting from his devotees, that we share with each other. Thank you so much, Mataji. I really.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhati, Mataji, Gayatri ji, anything you would like to share? Nisha ji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Maga Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Very beautiful Katha Prabhuji. So I'm just relishing hearing this Katha.
Yeah.
So just one point to ask. So here in the Radha Kund, when we are many devotees, they take the pumpkin as Mataji in the Leka Mataji is sharing. So they put charities. That's why many pumpkins are there around the Radha Kund on that day. Is it the same reason? I think.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. That's why they have many people to clean also, and those coins they give to the brahmanas or to the sadhus as charity. And that is anonymous. If somebody, also what they say, people who want to have children or a child, they do that, and then they put a thank you. They put the coins and then they dip in there. That's what I heard.
Okay, thank you, Mataji, for clarifying that one. Just I was wondering why so many of pumpkins are there. And maybe Prabhuji, if you can share a little bit of 1 minute of Radha Kundali appearance, Vrindavan festival, how devotees are celebrating that festival. Just one minute, just for a glimpse.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think maybe we should we go to this thing, YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, let's see. Radha
YouTube, Radha Kund, 3 days ago.
Radha Kund, isn't it?
Do you know, sorry. Do you know one time in festival something Radha Kund, all the fruits and rather than again in a Radha Kund step, all the decoration is very beautiful. I saw in the video.
You can type Radha Kund appearance day, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Appearance day and space and then Vrindavan.
Yeah, maybe one of these, Prabhuji.
Maybe you can space and then Vrindavan.
Vrindavan, okay. Okay,
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe just you can take any of these Harati lamp offerings to the team.
Yeah, this one, Prabhuji, one of these, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe
I think devotees are offering pumpkins, something like that.
In that, did we see that, Prabhuji? 1 minute, let me just go there.
So there is, if you just scroll down to Prabhuji in the list, so there are few other videos. If you go back.
Okay, we go a few.
Radha
It contains so many of other fruits and flowers, so many. It's a kind of festival celebrations.
Let me just see if there's any other appearance of Radha Kund, maybe by Prabhuji. This one here, Prabhuji?
Yeah, I think so, Prabhuji. Yeah. If it is 3 days back, maybe. Yeah, 2 days ago. Yeah.
This is very strange.
Yeah, that's all right. Prabhuji, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So there we see some pumpkins here and there.
Yeah. Well, this thing see is very.
The people are cleaning as well, probably. They are just picking those with the life jacket and the little boat. They are just picking them.
The celebration, amazing.
Yeah, there we see.
Amazing to see like much.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, Prabhuji. It may be so much crowded if we have personally gone there and then.
Yeah. And that too also we see that it's a night time, right? It seems to be like.
Yes. I think Pawan Prabhuji has sent some link.
Who has sent Prabhuji?
In the chat, Pawan Prabhu has sent link.
Oh, okay. Okay, Prabhuji is sent a link. Okay. Maybe we have to log in.
You can cancel that one.
Radhakund, which is the sacred lake of Srimati Radharani. This lake was established 5,000 years ago by Radharani and her Gopi girlfriend associate. The last time this lake was cleaned was 20 years ago. And this year it has become a big celebration for all of the people of Vrindavan. The lake has been drained and
yeah, that's all right. So it's just a cleansing one. So it's giving introduction.
Blood from the bottom of the lake. And we're observing the Kanchan Kund, which is the original lake that was formed by Radharani at the very bottom of the present Radha Kund.
Very nice. Well, thank you, Pawan Prabhu, for sharing that.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, it was like said that there was one kund underneath this water, like in the middle. So that's what they try to explain. But
yeah, no, that's really good to know, actually. They come in. Sometimes we just see the kund, but again, just to understand that, the original one is like in the middle, which was dug by. Yeah, I mean, it says that when Krishna created the Sham Kund and Radharani, and they were using the bangles and tools, they were digging to make a similar one next to Sham. And then, of course, it was dry at that time with no water. And then, Krishna wanted that to be filled with the purifying water. So beautiful, isn't it? Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Amazing. Very so much of pastime, so many beautiful things that we have in the land of Vrindavan. So many stories, and again, Govardhan Puja is coming up again next week as well. So much of celebration, and they also happening. They celebrated front Sunday, then followed by the action which is happening on Tuesday. Prabhuji, thank you so much for that. It's good to be just seeing. Sorry, Prabhu, Gayatri ji, anything would you like to add before we close?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Such beautiful, wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you for the Radha Kund and the explanation of how it was formed and that story behind it and the Krishna Katha as always. Your flow is so easy. You tell as if nothing. When we try to do it, is so hard. Oh my.
No, no,
Thank
Mataji.
you, Prabhuji. Thank you for such wonderful, yeah, with all the explanations with the Bhagavad Gita and all the shlokas as well, for references. Very beautiful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gayatri. You're so kind. I'm not worthy of it, but thank you. But I would always think all glories to Srila Prabhupada. What would happen to us without Srila Prabhupada? He's the one who's he's our guru, who's giving us this nectar, and we're just sharing with each other. I'm like a small child and just learning and sharing with our devotees. But thank you, Mataji, for giving your association as always.
Hare Krishna, Shyam Prabhu, such a beautiful class. So beautifully you have related to Damodar Ashtakam as you were talking about the Krishna Katha. It was really a very, very beautiful class, I must say.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
This devotees makes me speak.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for explain. I never heard in my whole life about this Radha Kund, but thank you. I mean, in every class, there's something new to learn from you. So a big thank you to you and Amogdash Prabhu, definitely, for actually organizing this. And it's a beautiful class as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishaji. So it's so nice when, especially when all devotees are together. It's such an inspiration, and it's such a. I feel so humbled, and I feel like it's such a forum for all of us to come together and share with each other. And I want to thank everybody for that. So looking forward to that this weekend to see some of our devotees, and next week again with the nectar will flow, and we will all just come back again and listen to this beautiful Krishna Katha of Narada Muni. And even I'm also so eager to just go through the entire remaining part of the chapter, which we'll do anyways next week. And maybe it's getting closer towards the end of Kartik, so maybe we can do a bit of Damodar Ashtakam also next week. So that will be really nice.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. As Gayatri Mataji said, exactly, the flow, when we are listening, the examples you're giving, you went to the exact example where Narada Muni said, it was so good to listen that way, his pastimes when we are, currently discussing that bit. So flow was very nice, like we were completely involved, and then, and then realized, oh, we're, I don't know how 1 hour, passed by, but it was so good. And I'm really happy, and thank you so much for doing this, Prabhuji. And see you this weekend if
Please
I'm trying to come there.
Yeah, definitely. Please come in. And I just want all of us to participate and, just throw up, just share the realizations and just jump in and just let's take them. Because even when I was telling about this Narada Muni, and I was thinking, suddenly I remembered Damodar Ashtakam is actually with Narada Muni, and the prayer there,
Yeah.
And so it's like I just love the connecting the dots, as you say, like connecting the dots, like how we can bring Damodar Ashtakam into Bhagavad Gita, and like when you do that, because in the last week also I was talking to some Mataji, and she said, Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita, I find it very complicated, very complex, and I find it very difficult to understand. And I said, Mataji, just read Bhagavad Gita and keep doing Krishna Katha and in parallel. That's when you connect all the dots, you can really enjoy the nectar of Bhagavad Gita and what Krishna is telling and the practical things we can find in Krishna Katha. So that's how we can really actually enjoy the nectar. So definitely that's the way. And I also just wanted to mention that towards the end of this month, I could be traveling to India, because it's not expected. My elder sister's daughter is getting married in India, and she literally grew up in my arms. Like literally, I used to take her out and things like that, and I can't believe that she's grown so fast. And she's living in Australia and studying over there, and she's getting married. So I'll have to go towards the end of the month. So next session I will be there. But after that, I would humbly request that, if we can take turns and just make sure that the nectar is flowing in the form of Krishna Katha. And Namaga Prabhuji, this, I just wanted to, don't want to just announce it next week, but just wanted to give a heads up that, towards the end of the month, that I'm just going on this, on a trip for my niece marriage. And after that, so I just want a few weeks for devotees to take over, because it's been 8 years since I gone to India, and I just went last month was the first time I gone after 8 years. So there's all these developments happened, like, she's getting married, and I had to do a few things in Bangalore. So I could be missing for a few weeks, but I will request that if all of you can take part in it and keep the nectar flowing, because we covered 69 chapters. We are in the 69 chapters. So you can imagine Radha Krishna is, they're just blessing us for this satsang. I can feel that, So it's up to us. We had to keep the nectar flowing. So all of you can just take turns and keep doing the Krishna Katha. And I'm sure like it's going to go flowing nicely, and all of us can keep sharing, and I'll watch the videos as well. But next Thursday, I'm there. But the following Thursday, I could maybe not, because I have to go in advance for the marriage. So, yeah. So thank you so much, everyone. So let's do the final prayer. Vanchikal pataribhyasya kripa sindhubhya.
Patiranam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
To Vaishnavrind ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Well, close to
Sham Prabhu ki jai. Please
Jai.
come back.
Hari bol. Hari
Hari
bol to Shyam
bol.
Prabhu. Hari bol.
Hari bol.
Hari
Hari
bol.
bol.
Hari bol.
Hari bol.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
And happy journey as well.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
I will be next Thursday.
Oh, you will be there. Okay.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.